How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ace. Today I'm once again joined by Songbird.
Hello.
And today we are checking out Sleep Token Gods. So this is a visualizer. They don't have a music video as far as I'm aware. You brought this one to my attention to react to. Do you have
Mhm.
anything you want to add about the song? Is this different from the ones that we've checked out so far?
I feel like it's gonna be probably the heaviest one that we've reacted to so far as the sound. And I am interested to see what you think because one of the things that I love so much about Sleep Token is how melodic and lovely their music tends to be. So this one is going to be maybe a departure from the ones that I have recommended to you in the past, but it's still a fantastic song and they perform it incredibly. So I'm just excited to see what you think about it.
Sure. Yeah, I'm excited to check this one out. So I say we go ahead and get to it if you're ready.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And without further ado, Sleep Token Gods. Here we go. So, I mean, this definitely just from the get go, just heavy hits
Yeah.
you in the face. Heavy, like complete departure from the couple of songs that we checked out so far.
Mhm.
The vocals are very harsh. It's
Mhm.
like I'm glad that I do have lyrics pulled up over here because I
Yeah.
did not understand anything that he was saying. So
Right.
I am glad that I have that because like just from initial reaction, it sounded like
Mhm.
the mic was in his mouth while he was yelling.
A little bit, yeah,
Yeah, so it
definitely.
like going back and listening to it again with the lyrics, I think would benefit a lot, and that way I can like
Mhm.
fully understand what's going on. But yeah,
Mhm.
I that was my like initial take from that. It feels very gritty, the instrumentation
Yeah.
here. It kind of reminds me of early Stained, where it was super heavy,
Okay.
super gritty, and
Mhm.
I like it. It's good.
Mhm. It is, it's a lot, it's very raw, I feel
Raw.
like.
Yeah, raw is a
Yeah.
good word.
It feels like it's raw and, like, emotional, like, especially reading the lyrics, it's talking about, like, "I see the gods avert their gaze from me," so, if you're talking about feeling abandoned, "I'm alone again," it literally says, "I'm alone again," so, like, that's, that kind of anger and frustration that can come from feeling like that. I think they convey it well,
Yeah, I mean there was like a lot of anger in that. And like just how
for
like
sure.
you could hear the anger in Vessel's voice here.
I love hearing because of how beautiful I know his voice is. It's
Hmm.
always so funny to me when I listen to Gods or other songs that are super heavy because I don't spend a lot of time on those songs because again, my favorite part's the melody, whatever. And so when I do sit down and listen to him, I'm like, oh yeah, it just carries a lot of emotion in his voice, and to be able to do that and not like completely rip his vocal cords to shreds.
Yeah, I mean he does have versatility, and I'm
Mhm,
glad that I got to hear this. It reminds me of so many different vocalists that have
mhm,
multiple styles with their singing.
for sure.
And I mean this isn't specifically singing, but like just it's yelling, it's growling,
Mhm,
it kind of like I always go back to this example because it is my favorite band, but
mhm,
Chester Bennington, Linkin Park, where he
mhm.
he has like three different styles for his voice.
Mm.
He's got this the yelling, the screaming, and the melodic singing that he does,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of it's in that same vein where
Yeah,
Vessel has like multiple styles, and I think that's awesome.
I think so too. It's also like just the hallmark of a I
Yeah.
also did not know that the visualizer was going to have like I think the change between like at the beginning of the visualizer where it's like destruction and like volcanoes erupting and tattered buildings and all that kind of stuff to then swapping to when we got to the melodic part, the visual of like the water and stuff. So like I like the difference there between like again destructive anger that
Mhm.
we're reflecting in the lyrics and what he's singing and then going to something more peaceful with like the more melodic section.
It's almost like two different songs that are put
Mhm.
together, just how the sound, like it's a duality of sorts, and I definitely like the combination of the two. And you mentioned before we started the runes that they used for
Yeah.
this album, if I'm not mistaken. Do you
Mhm.
have any like insight on that?
I don't, unfortunately. Again, I'm like the worst when it comes to Sleep Token lore. So like anybody in the comments that has any information about the runes or the symbols they used for the stuff on sundowning, feel free to leave it and educate me, pretty please. But I do know that, you know, like Vessel has his mask and it's painted a certain way. And so I'm not sure if it's specific to sundowning with the runes that are there or if it's like different combinations of similar styles of runes that are to represent. I don't know. So
Mhm.
I'd love to learn.
But yeah, I'm enjoying the song. I'm enjoying the visuals and everything, and I'm ready to check out the rest of it if you are.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's go ahead and get back to it. So here we go.
Do you like the way it feels like fire from the heaven, carving past the surface into you? Do you like the way it feels like fire from the heaven, tearing me asunder beside you? It's so uneasy for me.
That bass.
I know.
And the breathing at the end too, just I have to imagine, just from the amount of screaming that he did during this, was probably
Mm.
a little exhausting.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm.
Yeah, but like it, I think it did a good job of again kind of going with that theme of anger and stuff. The seething breathing there at the end,
Yeah.
so good. But yeah, I can't imagine screaming all of that, singing so beautifully, screaming again, and then having to huff and puff into a microphone like.
During the first reaction we did for Sleep Token, The Love You Want, I mentioned, because of the way that Sleep Token was described to me, I mentioned, oh, it's British Slipknot. you know,
Hmm.
and there was some hate towards that, and I justifiably so. I totally get it. I was
Right.
just going by how it was described, but here I actually kind of hear the Slipknot like sound where it's like
Mm-hmm.
this chaos during the
Mm-hmm.
verse, and the amount of anger and intensity of the vocals and the instrumentation, the bass, the drums. There's a bit of chaos with the drum beat. And
Hmm.
I've always said this about a few of the Slipknot songs. They'll either, with the verse, they'll either be chaotic or they'll be melodic. And then during the
Mm.
chorus, they flip it. And
Ah.
here we kind of got that as well, where it was chaos during the verses, and during the
Hmm.
breakdown, it was melodic. You know, you had the
Hmm.
piano and the softer vocals. And then
Hmm.
when it went into the breakdown afterwards, it went back into the chaos,
I can
which
totally see that, and like I feel like Sleep Token kind of does that sometimes too, with the swapping between chaotic and melodic.
mhm. Yeah, and I mean it's a very like effective instrument for music, and I like it.
For sure.
Speaking of the lyrics,
Hmm.
the breakdown of the song specifically, not just the part where it says breakdown, but we
Hmm.
have two verses that are broken up by one chorus, and then afterwards is a bridge. And
Hmm.
like a typical like a standard song, especially lately, is verse chorus bridge chorus.
Hmm.
And we only get one chorus during the song. We're skipping out on the other two, so they're
Hmm.
kind of going against the grain a little bit, and I like that.
Same. I think that especially on the latest album, Take Me Back to Eden, they kind of shy away from that normal structure of songs, and I love them for it. I think that it's fun whenever music can subvert my expectations, and Sleep Token does a good job of that.
Throughout this song, especially when it's heavier, like the bass is very prevalent. I guess I didn't pick that up at first, just because like I
Mhm.
was like, oh, this is super heavy, and it took me a minute to like collect my thoughts and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hear like the bass throughout, and it's very heavy. And I mentioned earlier the drum beat. Like I was trying to figure out how to bop my head to this, because you know a lot of songs, you know, they have a pretty constant beat. This one,
Mhm.
it's a little bit harder to like pinpoint, especially for our first time listening.
Mhm. And that's what's kind of fun sometimes about Sleep Token, at least to me, is
Mhm.
that, they are kind of like some polyrhythm sections, but what I love is when they're in that transition section between the really heavy section and between the bridge, and there are all these like polyrhythms, and then Vessel just comes in and just starts singing, and it's like, oh, that's the beat that's been there all along,
Mhm.
but I couldn't hear it before I had like the grounding melody that was there. It's interesting, and so like I'm such a nerd, and I'm like challenged myself to listen to those parts and like, all right, let me count it without Vessel singing.
But yeah, I mean, this was a fantastic song. Definitely would not mind checking out more from Sleep Token. If y'all have any suggestions or anything we should know about, definitely drop those in the comments below. Would love to check those out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's cool. It's free. Tells me I'm doing the right thing, going in the right direction, all those good things. Don't forget to check out the description of the video as well. There's a lot of cool things in there. All our socials are in there. You could go over there and say hi. Hi. The release schedule I always drop on the socials a couple days early, so if you would like a sneak peek as to what's coming out the following week, that's the best way to do that. If you're interested in supporting the channel and getting a priority request in, you can check out the Buy Me a Coffee link. Each request is only $5 and it helps me out a bunch. The link to the video we reacted to is also in there. And if you made it to the end of the video, comment hashtag gods. I think that's it for this reaction. Check you out in the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye.